there's this Harris woman, Kamala Harris, and we played some video of her last week. This was the most inauthentic woman on the face of the planet. Again, she was polling at 0. That's not white power. This is Joe Biden. When Democrats do this, it means 0. When Republicans do it, it means white power. So I'm doing it. You can take it as you wish. Last week, they had a surprise birthday party for her. She walked into the room and yelled surprise to them. First time that's ever happened in the history of surprise parties. Surprise! She then kissed her husband, who was also wearing a mask. I mean, this woman is just terrible, polling at 0 in her own party when she dropped out of the race, but then Biden put her in, although it's not really Biden, it's whoever's running Biden. Anyway, she tweeted out this statement. Now think of all the things, before I read it to you, before we show it to you, think of all the things that are happening right now between vaccine mandates, inflation going up, gas prices going up, supply chain issues, the disaster in Afghanistan that we don't even talk about anymore, China's testing some like supersonic nuclear missile. Like there's so many crazy things happening right now. But here's what VP Harris is up to. President Biden and I released the first ever national gender strategy. We believe that advancing gender equity and equality is fundamental to every individual's economic security, safety, health, and ability to exercise their most basic rights. It is also essential to economic growth and development, democracy and political stability, and the security of nations across the globe. Yet no country in the world has achieved gender equality, and we are at an inflection point. The COVID-19 pandemic has fueled a health crisis, an economic crisis, and a caregiving crisis that have magnified the challenges that women and girls, especially women and girls of color, have long faced. It has also exacerbated a shadow pandemic of gender-based violence in the United States and around the world. This moment demands that we build back better. Before I color that with any of my thoughts, we've got a quote here from the American Enterprise Institute about men and women and equality. Women have earned almost 10 million more college degrees than men since 1982. So if you only care about women being educated and having jobs, if you think that's the most important thing for a woman, because I know somehow modern feminists think that if you're a mother who has kids and stays at home and cooks for the kids and keeps a good house and takes care of everybody and is around and emotionally available and not worried about board meetings and things, somehow you're evil and you're anti-woman. But if you don't believe that, then at least you've got the 10 million more college degrees than men since 1982. But just to add a couple of my thoughts on this, it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. There are countries, one of the struggles years ago, I've told the story a few times, but when Jordan Peterson and I were on tour, we went to Sweden and we were going to do one show in Sweden and the show sold out literally in 2 minutes. So we thought there's something going on here. And I was getting so much fan mail from Sweden. We thought there's something else happening here. Let's see if we can get back to Sweden. So I think we went to Denmark for a day. Maybe we went to Oslo and then we went back to Stockholm, to Sweden. The second show sold out in about 2 minutes. And it was just extraordinary what was going on there. And we talked to a bunch of the audience. We did a Q&A. It was actually during my meet and greet that instead of doing it at the theater, there were so many people that wanted to be part of my meet and greet. We actually went to a bar. We took over the entire bar. It was maybe the best night of the whole tour. Sweden has complete gender equality. They have a completely egalitarian society and forever. Men can do whatever they want. Women can do whatever they want. And guess what's happened in Sweden? It's still, despite saying everybody do whatever the hell you want, which is pretty much what we have here in the United States too, but they really have it there in terms of culture and everything else. It turns out that still men wanted to become engineers and women still wanted to become nurses because generally men care about things. That's the way men's brains are wired. And women care more about interpersonal relationships. So that's the way their brains are wired. So now the social justice warriors in Sweden, they look at that and they go, wait, we have equality, but we did it right. Like we did what they wanted. We have this egalitarian society. We did it right. But the outcome is still that men and women are doing different things. We don't have the exact amount of male and female engineers. We don't have the exact amount of male and female nurses. So they want to rejigger the entire system. Do you see how ridiculous this all is? Anyway, the idea that we'd be worried about that, about any of this nonsense. If you showed me a law that said women can't do this because they're women, then so be it. You know what women can't do? apparently women can't be 4-star generals because, what's her name? I forgot her name. What's her name again? Rachel Levine. Yeah, Rachel Levine. So Rachel Levine was a man. I don't mean to be a dick about it. That was. So there was a guy. Anyway, he's a woman now. He's now the first 4-star female general, according to the New York Times, except he's not female. I don't want to get my channel deleted, and I'm not trying to say anything controversial here. He's a trans woman. I accept that, or she's a trans woman, but she is not female. Google female. Here, can we Google female? Can you Google female for me right now? And I'm going to read the official definition of female for those of you that are completely curious. Female is of or denoting the sex that can bear offspring or produce eggs distinguished biologically by the production of ova, which can be fertilized by male gametes. I don't think Rachel Levine has that stuff, so I'm not making a big deal about it, and it's just fine that this trans person's got a gig and it's all good, except he, she, whatever, is not female. I'm not trying to be controversial here. But anyway, you see why I link this to they want gender equity, except the 4-star general, that's the health secretary, whatever it is biologically male. And you've got the feminists going, oh my God, we've got the first female. Oh my God, I'm a seal, throw me more fish.